Hey everybody, me again. Thanks for tuning in to the channel today. I just wanted to make a couple clarifications before we go into this video. When we left to film this episode, the fire we speak of was very, very small, and now it is very, very large. Our thoughts and prayers go out to all the families that have been affected by this fire, as well as all the men and women on the front lines trying to fight this damn thing. Also, I speak of our riding area as being systematically shut down. That is primarily east of the Cascades in Washington State and most likely most of Oregon at the moment. But please, guys, do your own research. I am not the end-all be-all of all information. Having said all that, the war on dirt bikes has already started. And I stand by everything I'm about to say 110%. And there's going to come a time where you, me, and the entire moto community are going to have to band together and rally and fight to keep this thing going for the sport that we love so much. Apes together strong, guys. I love y'all out there. Take care. Cheers. Well, good morning, everybody. Welcome back to day 2, Gold Creek Lodge, Idaho. Riding this magnificent trail system they got here for us. And before we begin, I would like to give a big shout out and a congratulations to my beautiful wife as, yesterday, she completed the longest loop she's ever done over some of the gnarlier terrain we've ever ridden, and it's about 62 miles, so a big tip of the hat and kudos to her, because that was awesome, and that little cross trainer actually made it, which is also good. But at any rate, the point of my visit with you today is unfortunately not the best of news, guys. It has come to my attention, if you watched, I believe it was episode 22, I made the comment about someday in the not so distant future, you and I, we're going to have to band together to fight tooth and nail for this sport that we all love so much. Unfortunately, that day might be closer in hand than we think. With everything going on in the world and shutting down this and shutting down that, and you can't do this and you can't have that, and just piss off. With the case of Whatcom County versus Danny Brocker, which you can go Google and read it for yourself. I will spare you the trouble. Just Google Whatcom County Court and Danny Brocker. Holy doodles, look at this. And you will find everything you need to know about what I'm talking about. There is now a seemingly endless war on dirt bikes and war on off-roading and f***ing war on fun. Just in general. This government these days, you guys, is basically anti people taking their health into their own hands. I mean, for Christ's sake, we live in a state now where they're going to force you to put a needle in your arm or else. Holy Hannah, guys, how did we get here? But that's besides the point. The point of my story today is a couple days ago, it was brought to my attention that the state of California is no longer going to register off-road vehicles for off-road use. Which basically means this is their attempt at the beginning of killing an entire sport and an entire industry. This is just step 1. I don't know what their step 2 is going to be. I don't pretend to know because I don't. But it has to start somewhere with those guys, and this is it. The problem with this is this isn't good for anybody.
And when I say that, I'm not just talking about, you know, me stomping my feet in my backyard, having a temper tantrum, saying, oh, poor me, I can't go ride there. I'm talking about the industry they're about to absolutely destroy. I'm talking about the people's lives that have worked hard, very hard, tooth and nail, to build up their business or their dealership or their mechanic shop, that are just going to be basically put out on the street because they won't have the business, because there's not going to be anybody that's going to be dumb enough to go buy an enduro bike that you can't ride anywhere. What's the point in that? So it's not only going to hurt them, it's also going to hurt their employees, the people that work full-time, day in and day out for them, that rely on that paycheck to survive. Why is nobody talking about this? This is a big deal. This is not something we should take lightly. This is something we need to stand up for, go to bat for, fight for it. Whatever you want to call it, it needs to be done. Otherwise, they're just going to walk all over us, you guys. And they are trying very, very hard to do that right now. And I figure my home state of Washington is not far behind, because something very interesting happened about 2 weeks ago. They shut down all state and all national forests for ORVing or any activity at all. You can't go driving there and just hike and camp. You can't even do it. Under the guise of extreme fire danger, which I'm about. Gotta save our forests so we have this place to ride. I agree with that wholeheartedly. That's not the problem. I started doing a little research. The current fires that we have burning are nowhere near the severity of what they have been in years past. Which leads me to believe one of two things. Either they are being overly precautious, which if that's the case, you have my blessing. Not that it matters at all, but you know, I'm going to say it out loud because it makes me feel better at the end of the day. Or they're going to use this as an excuse to not open it back up. Because as I said before, there is a fairly sizable faction of people out there that would like to see this sport cease to exist entirely. And the only reason I'm riding right now is because we are in the land of free America, in the state of Idaho, where you can still do stuff and have your own freedoms, for Pete's sake. So make no mistake about it, you guys. It has begun, and it's up to us to stop it. How we do that, I don't know yet, but we're gonna figure it out. And we're gonna get together in some way, shape, or form, and we're gonna deal with this. Because I'll be damned if I'm gonna let go one of the most beautiful things in my life I've ever experienced. And it's not just the ride or the destination of said ride or the intensity or the adrenaline rush. It's the people, you guys. It's the camaraderie. It's the folks out there that I've met doing this sport, where we just hit it off like best buddies, like we've got along for years. Because it didn't matter, because we're all out here for the same purpose. So we have this general and mutual understanding of the whole thing. Do you guys know how rare that is? That's a big deal. And I don't want to lose that. And I would hope that you wouldn't want to lose that either. Under the guise of public safety or environmental safety. Piss on all that. We don't have that much impact on this. You want to see impact? Go look at the processes and the equipment used to make one 18650 lithium-ion battery cell. Just one. And then come talk to me. Well, howdy, fellas.
What's up?
Not so much. Whew.
I'm kind of in the middle of the way.
Well, folks, I guess that about wraps it up for today. And sorry we had to take a quick pause. That trail ended a lot quicker than I thought, but And I also apologize for kind of having to be the saggy Maggie today, but this is just one of those things we just got to be aware of, guys, and help each other out and keep this thing going. So, having said all that, take care of yourselves out there, everybody, and damn it, take care of each other. We'll see you real soon. Cheers.